Hey everybody, it's Alex here, and I have been waiting months to have this young lady on our show. Lizzy, welcome to CHongqing.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you for having me. This has been the greatest 2 days of my entire life. I love this city, so thanks for having me.
I mean, I was going to say first impressions of the city, but I'm going to say second impressions of the city.
Mind blown. I've been taking DDs everywhere and my mouth has just been hanging open. Like I need to close it all the time because the skyscrapers, the bridges, I made a lot of videos, taking the subway here is so different to what I've seen anywhere else in China. So just going over the bridge and going to the city area. Yeah, it is very nice here.
Well, this video is not just about our city. This video is about understanding you. Now,
yes.
You have built a YouTube channel here. How long have you been in YouTube? For about a year?
Yeah, about 14, 15 months.
14, 15 months?
Yes.
It's been going very well. Your subscribers, they all love you.
Yeah, thank you guys, by the way.
Let's talk more about, what attracts viewers to continue to subscribe to your channel. What is your channel all about?
So my channel is just showing the truth about China. Because I feel like a lot of the times they hear things or, they just see someone sitting and talking, but they don't actually see what is going on outside. So I feel like through my channel, they can actually see the life, the food here, the culture, the people, and just the natural life in China. And I think especially people like when I debunk the lies of the Western media. I think that is what my viewers are the most interested in.
Well, I'm gonna pull up some of your videos and we're gonna look at some of these titles here. Let's have a look here.
Oh.
Okay. Living in China versus living in America. Very nice comparison. How bad is China's housing economy? I'm buying a house in China. And the China they don't want you to see. I mean, what inspires you to make these types of...
Comparing the US and China, especially with the railway, I mean, they just talk about how bad China is all the time, and I'm pushing back on that. I mean, it's our job to. I feel like it's my responsibility now as a YouTuber in China, knowing the truth, that I'm going to then show them, like, this is how bad China is, and this is how good the US is. So yeah, I'm going for it. And I feel like if they can say something, we can also say it, right?
Someone has to stand up for this nation and say, hold on a moment. We will share our lives here, but we have to give a little bit of pushback because what a lot of these people are saying is not what we're seeing.
Yes. Images that are being shown to you are from years ago. Like years ago, and everyone in the world forgets how fast China developed in the past 30, 40 years. So stop looking at 30, 40 years ago of footage, of images, and just look at what's here now. Yes, I'm trying to make videos, but my whole purpose actually is to get more people to come to China, because then they can see for themselves and then they can tell their friends and their family, and that's how it works. I mean, I'm going to talk about my mom. My mom wouldn't, for example, come to China for the first time. She only came for 10 days. She loved it so much. A woman of her age left everything behind, our house, her pets, and she moved to China.
I'm going to ask you that question. Of all the countries, you're South African.
Yes.
What brought you to this country?
Like, I don't want to go sit in an office and work.
Right.
So I want to travel. But to travel, I need money. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go au pair, because while I can au pair, I can travel, the country. And then I don't know what happened. I think while I was busy with my interview process, one of my friends living in China asked me, why don't I just come to China for 1 year? So she set up an interview that night. Wow. The next day I called my mom. My mom was in total shock because she thought I'm calling about the interview to go au pair in Europe. And I'm telling her I'm going to China, a country which none of us know anything about. So I was really supposed to come to China just for a year, really. And yes, that happened to me. I came to China and I fell in love with it. And now I'm not planning on leaving anytime soon.
Oh, that's just fantastic. Okay. So you've seen a lot of things change probably in the last few years that you've been here.
Yeah.
We know that South Africa is a key in a lot of the strategies in China. The relationships are really improving.
Yes.
I'm sure a lot of your viewers may or may not have heard of this, but the BRI, or the Belt Road Initiative here in China, is a conversation piece in many households and many businesses here, because this is China really working together with over 150 other nations in the world.
talking about the BRI and China in general with, the relationships they have with Africa, specifically South Africa, South Africa struggles a lot with with blackouts, where the whole country would just get this, we call it load shedding, and we'd have like 8-9 hours a day with no electricity, and that really drastically degraded our economy. It was just spiraling down so bad, and so many people lost their jobs, and with COVID, so it was just like bad on bad. And that is where China came in, and they really helped, especially in South Africa with the infrastructure, and this all created primary and secondary jobs for people in South Africa to then better the economy. And I think for China, it's kind of a mentor for South Africa, because we don't have nice roads, first of all. We don't have rail at all. So just for them, or for a country like China to believe in someone, like in a country like South Africa, I think that's all South Africa needs. But then South Africa also, like if you guys are from South Africa, it's very important for South Africans to also work together with the government, because that is why China is such a successful country, because the people believe in what the government is doing. So China has given South Africa this opportunity to grow as an economy and also as a country.
Can we talk, I think most of your viewers know Lizzy in China, but do they know anything about Lizzy in South Africa? Are you open to maybe sharing some of your experiences there? I mean, I know why I left Canada. Canada turned into a massive, crime infested cities, and it is the truth. And I know we don't really want to expose it, but these are maybe reasons why you're sitting here with me in a city of 30-some million in China. I'm a Canadian, you're a South African. These are very real stories. I would love to be back in my country, but what I'm hearing is cost of living is out of control, crime is out of control, skyrocketing inflation is out of control. Unless I'm living with my mom again, I don't know if I'm going to be moving back there anytime soon.
It's sad. It's really something sad to talk about, because I had this dream my whole life that I cannot wait to get married and my kids will grow up with, playing on the farm, playing in mud, not in the city life, because that's the life where I grew up and I absolutely loved it. And then, the crime is so bad in South Africa, especially with white farmers getting killed. Like, these things need to be addressed, because not a lot of people are open to talk about it. And it changed our lives as a family, because we come from a really small town. We come from Limpopo province where, mostly farmers. We had to change our life. And even when I came to China, feeling what safety feels like, which I've never felt before. I mean, our supermarket is 500 meters away from our house. We cannot walk. We cannot ride a bike. There are no scooters in South Africa because it's too dangerous. Even in cars, I mean, your window gets broken at a red light. So it was just fear for your life all the time. Like when I went out with my friends in university, going back home, no, it's too dangerous. You can't go back after 12, even if you are in a car. Crime is definitely the number one reason why I left South Africa and why, my dream was shattered that I'm not going to raise a family in South Africa.
Can we talk about what you do here in China? Maybe tell us what a work week or a week in your life would be like.
Yeah, so like right now or?
Oh, whenever.
Okay, so let me tell you, my life has actually changed drastically within the past year. So I work at a training center. I'm an English teacher. So I work from Wednesdays to Sundays, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night. From around 6 to 8:30 we would have class, and then Saturdays and Sundays 9 to 6. So work whole days because it's like extra activities, right? And then the government about 3 years ago, they did bring in some new rules, like the kids had too much pressure. So I completely understood that some schools need to close down because they don't want the school's pressure and extra activities pressure, especially when it comes to learning English. So we had to like scale down a little bit. So then I worked only Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays because the classes got smaller because, like I said, the people here really support the government, so they understood what they were saying, and they didn't want to put that much pressure on kids. So yeah, right now, like literally 3 weeks ago, I changed my contract because this YouTube has brought me so many opportunities to share my journey and my life with the world. So right now, I'm only working Saturdays and Sundays. I am very lucky. I realize that, I know that to still have, a visa, a stable income, but also be able to follow my dreams and make content for you guys.
Thank you once again for sharing your experience and your working experience.
It's really an amazing, not just life you live here with safety, infrastructure, all that kind of stuff, but also with your job.
Yeah, I think you have to find a balance in life, and let's talk about the different types. This is CHongqing. You see our cuisine.
Yeah.
You see our restaurants. You see our, I guess, historical sites.
Yes.
Let's compare the cities. What's your city like compared to this?
Oh, it's like a small village compared to CHongqing. Like, I really thought Kunming is huge, but then again, if you think about how many people, millions of people live in each city in China.
Right, yeah.
Every time I'm like, oh, Kunming is so small. And then, then you come to CHongqing, it's more than 32 million people. But no, I love CHongqing. It really is amazing, like driving around. But to be able to live, I still feel like Kunming is nice. It's not that big. It's very easy to get around from one side of the city to the next. CHongqing is definitely a bit more fancy, if I can say it like that. And that's why I don't understand why this wasn't a city. Why when people talk about Shanghai and Beijing, why is CHongqing not in the same sentence, in the same conversation? It blows my mind because, I've been living here for 5 years. I love travel, so I've traveled all over China. And CHongqing is definitely way up there. But yeah, to answer your question, I think Kunming is just smaller. The infrastructure is still amazing, but Kunming is definitely a more travel destination city in a way of the beautiful parks we have because, we live in the spring city. They call Kunming the spring city. The weather is amazing all year around.
So what's the difference cuisine? Is there a difference in cuisine?
So obviously when I come to CHongqing, all I eat is hot pot. So the specific cuisines, if you go to Kunming, definitely go for your barbecue. But yeah, when I'm living Kunming, if I go out, it's always barbecue or it's always hot pot.
So living in Kunming, what would be a good day for you there? What's you have a me day, we call it.
Yes.
What's a me day for Lizzy like?
Oh, me day, just wake up, take my e-bike with that fresh air in Kunming, go to the lake, have a picnic, take a nap, by the way, because I can do that because that's how safe it is here. But that's also something ridiculous, right? How you can lie with your phone, your laptop, your book, everything there, and you are taking a nap, you're by yourself and you wake up and everything is still there. So yeah, me day is definitely outside, lake, or hiking.
We spoke about this last night when we were walking throughout the city.
Yeah.
We do take our guards down here a little bit in China, and we have to remind ourselves when we leave or travel outside of this country that things aren't as they are here. Feel you want to stay in China, or is China home until you say it's,
Yeah, China is home. I bought a house, so I'm very proud of myself for that. And I think just slowly, it's not like one day you wake up and you're like, oh, China is home to me, I just slowly realized that I don't think anywhere else in the world can give me the opportunities that China is giving me. So I can always travel outside of China and I can come back again and I can live here. I made a lot of good friendships, I have a nice job, I'm doing the YouTube, so life is really good for me. There's no plan to leave China.
Well, Lizzy, it's a pleasure, and I know you have a flight to catch.
Thanks guys for watching. Thanks Alex
Take care.
for having me.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.